Let's proceed to our safety orientation. So, new employee orientation. So, we have Mr. Roy Incaliado, mechanical inspector, and Mr. Eduardo, welder, mechanical maintenance welder. So, let's make this in a brief manner because we have so many tasks to do, okay? Things like that. We will be coming?
Yes.
Okay, we will wait for 5 minutes, but while waiting, let's discuss a little bit. Okay? So, to Mr. Eduardo and Mr. Roy Incaliado. Now, safety orientation is very important. So, we need to be briefed regarding what are the hazards and associated risks in various scope of works in your job. For example, if you are an inspector, a maintenance inspector, and you are welder inspector, so what are those potential hazards and risks involved in your particular scope of works or in your specific tasks, right? Okay, so since the sites are not familiar to you, then it is very important to see the places of what are the hazards and the risks there. Okay? That's the point. And you will be toured in the whole plant sites like that. But in your case, you will be working in your specific work assignments, right? Okay, so by the time you will migrated or be transferred to another area. Okay, for your dependent on your scope of works, right? Depending on your tasks. Okay, things like that. So we go to the basic safety requirements. The other guy is coming or not yet? Are he coming? Okay, so we will just review a little bit when he comes, okay? Things like that. So the purpose of the safety orientation is for really to be aware of what are really the safety culture, safety systems, safety requirements, safety rules and regulations, basic safety procedure, things like that, okay? Now, not only that, you need to be familiar also what are the safety information, okay, and training to be done or the toolbox talks for the root cause analysis program, in which education, training, things like that, okay. With the point, things like that. So we go back to the very basic discussion regarding PPE, okay. Do you know what is PPE? Okay, what's PPE all about?
Personal protective equipment.
Okay, actually, personal protective equipment is very important. Not to eliminate the hazards, it's only to reduce the exposure from the hazards. Okay, things like that. It will not totally help you from the physical injuries. If you will be contacted to sharp objects or anything, you could still be having the injury, the minor injuries, but it will reduce the impact. You get the point? And this is our last defense, the personal protective equipment. Now, since we're talking of the personal equipment, this is mandatory. Okay? You are not allowed to remove in the process area. Our process area will be there, okay? Okay, after the mess hall, the process area will be there. And then the mess hall, the technical building, the admin building, and the fire station are the green zone. Okay? Meaning you can remove your helmet like that, but still you need to observe the wearing of the PPE if you think it can cause hazards, because by the time you will pass the road, there are a lot of, moving trucks, moving vehicles like that, or flying debris or flying objects or anything. Okay? But I am trying to emphasize only that this is the green zone. Meaning you will not be caught by the safety for the issuance of the warning letter if you will be walking there without helmet in the green zone. Okay? Or the PPE free zone. Get the point? But there, the moment you step there, the boundary, all are really red zone. You need to wear your mandatory PPE, helmet, safety glass, safety shoes, things like that. Okay, your special PPE like the hand gloves, okay, the hot work PPE, the heat resistant, there is a clothing, the helmet, what do you call this one, the hood, the welding hood, okay, the eye and face shield, the full body harness are all special. According to your scope of works, you will be able to use or wear that. Okay? So the basic PPE are the helmet, safety glass, safety shoes only. And including the company uniform. Things like that. Okay? Get the point? So, if you are walking the process area without this PPE, then you will be issued a warning letter for the sanction and the penalty. You get the point? Things like there's no reminder anymore. There's no first warning anymore because it's really very clear in the safety orientation that we discussed. Okay? And as per our safety rules and regulations, there's no warning verbal. Automatic warning letter will be done. First offense, second offense, third offense, like that. And there will be equivalent percentage of the salary deduction, things like that. Okay? Okay? Because they have their own safety rules and regulations before I came here, things like that. Okay, and we will just follow that. You get the point? Things like that. So it's very needed because if we don't have the safety disciplinary program, then all people will violate for the safety, and there will be incidents and accidents that will be happening in the future, and they will not follow the safe systems of work, the permit to work, like that. So they're really disorganized if there's no policy pertaining to PPE. You get the point? Things like that. Okay? So that's PPE. Number 2, we need to discuss about the permit to work system. This one. Okay? We have 3 page permits. Page 1, page 2, page 3. Okay? So if you try to perform hazardous tasks, okay? Critical operation, okay, you can sit down. So where is your appointment?
Nandun sa ano, sir?
Oh, later you can bring and put that here, and then you can sign the attendance sheet, okay, for the safety orientation.
Di ba nandun? Di ba nandun sa ano? Sa office? Oo, yun sa ano dyan. As manager, electrical. Hindi, magaling na dyan. Pabigay dito. Hindi, pag-uwi na lang. Okay na yun.
So I will give you the safety declaration. You have to read it carefully and then sign it. Okay?
Yung gipusan mo ha? Yung gipusan? Ang akin.
So while fill up the form, okay, so we will continue the discussion. Fill out the form, okay, and then sign it. Okay, let's go back to where we stopped on the PPE. PPE is the mandatory requirement. Okay, now we will go to, so there will be an issuance of warning letter if you will not follow the mandatory safety requirements about PPE. Okay, that's the point. Now, before we talk about the permit to work system, so our plant is producing cement, and there's excessive release of, dusts. So you need to wear your mask, things like that. Our mask is 3M mask, appropriate for that. Okay, it's not the face mask. It's not like this. Okay, this one, it's not like this, but rather this will be the right or appropriate mask to wear because there's excessive release of dusts anywhere in our plant. Okay? Any question? Okay? To protect your respiratory health and the lungs. Okay? Because very dangerous chronic disease will be coming to you if you will not protect your health. You get the point? Things like that. So that's part of the PPE actually. Okay. Okay, now we go to the permit to work system. Okay, we have 3-page permit to work. Okay, so if you will just read it carefully, self-explanatory, we have the details, basic details here, the job description, the location, the area, the permit number, the department issued to, the performing party, validity, date and time started, date and time finished. And then here we have so many tasks here, huh? Checkbox from 1 to 10. Okay, so we include the most critical and hazardous operations globally common, excavation, working at height, hot work, like that. Okay, now if your scope of work not belong here, you have to put that in the 10. Okay, for others, you have to check for others and specify what kind of job is that. Okay, briefly. But here, detailed on the job description, okay? Things like that. And the part B will be the control measures. Okay, here. Then if the checkbox here 1, 2 up to 10, then look for the number here also because these are the control measures of that particular task. You get the point? And check it carefully. Okay, one by one. You get the point? So implement carefully, then do not cheat. You mark X if you don't apply and mark check if you apply because this is used in accident investigation. You get the point. So you will be in trouble if after investigation it has found out that you check and then you did not put and somebody will die. Somebody have physical injury, things like that. But anyhow, this is the job of the foreman and the supervisor to check carefully. Okay. During your preparation of materials and resources, you will be able to also check this out in your workplace in order for your people to work safely. So permit to work will be the first thing to do. Okay, the documentation. Okay, after preparation of everything, materials, resources like that, permit to work will be the next one. And you will go to the safety office and get the number of the permit. Okay? Get the point? Okay. What you want?
Is auto workshop.
Auto workshop.
Ada tanka terus dibeli.
Okay, rejected. We need risk assessment. Risk assessment. I will give you the. It's not allowed without risk assessment. I will give you the risk assessment copy. You cannot proceed to work without the risk assessment attachment. Okay?
No work.
English problem or not?
Yes.
English mafi malom.
English siya malo, mafi ziyada.
Wait. So I gave you this document, risk assessment, and let your supervisor to write, and then come back. Wait, I will print this one because as per our management instruction, it's not allowed to work without the risk assessment. Okay, get the point. Malom, mafi malom.
معلوم هذا بيبر جيب أنا ودي هو ركب ترتيب بعدين أجرب يجيب.
Get that form and give to your supervisor.
Okay.
And he will put words for that.
Okay.
Okay, just like this, I will show you. I'm sorry. Okay. Put writings in that. Okay?
Yeah.
This one. Same, right? Put words. Writing. Writing. Without writing, no permit number, no issue, no approved by safety.
For the writing, no need a
Go back
problem.
to your supervisor. Give this to your supervisor and your manager. Sir, safety said you write risk assessment.
But they come back again here.
We come back again. Okay?
Okay.
Things like that. Okay. In the second page is the continuation of the control measures. Okay. Check box, yes, not applicable, like that. You mark yes, if not applicable, mark not applicable. If no, don't check. Okay? Because there's no no, only yes and non-applicable. Get the point? We intentionally do that because so that they will be trying to force themselves to put yes, things like that, and do anything. Because if you put no, they will put so many no, problem. You get the point? So they will be taken for granted. You get the point? And then the part C, we have the signatory. Okay, we have the issuing party, the safety. We will sign it and approve if your area is safe already, there's no hazards, there's less hazards because we cannot eliminate also. So if your area is safe, then the safety will sign. Okay, but you will sign first, the foreman and the supervisor. Okay, then if you want to extend, because this is intended for 8 hours and 1 day, we need to extend permit to work renewal part D. Okay, so date extended, okay, time extended, started, date finished, and time finished for the extension, and then Sunday safety again. Okay, you got the point? Things like that. And after the job, the part E will be the permit to work close out or completion. Okay, so the foreman supervisor also will sign first, but be sure that your area is already cleared from any combustible materials or any slip and trip and fall hazards or any whatever problems there. You need to clear before stopping the job or clearing the job, everything like that. Okay, completion. Okay, before completion, everything is cleared. Now, go back to the office and let sign, and we will sign, and then we will put here as our closed documents for the permit to work. Okay, this is the second page. The third page will be the approval, the waiver form. Okay, for example, if your foreman and supervisor push you to work very unsafe, okay, that will lead you into harm, danger, and accident, then you have to complain and clarify this, that you need to put this, you need to weigh the harness before we can start, because we don't know that you have a supervisor that is very wicked, or shall we say very bad, okay, doesn't follow the rules and regulations, so you don't sign, okay, things like that. You will just sign if you approve that the area is safe to work, and then you can work safely also, okay, with the safe equipment, safe tools, safe machines, safe resources, safe area. It's always like that in the work area, okay, safe area, safe tools, safe machines, okay, safe resources, safe materials, safe procedure. Always like this. You get the point? Because safe procedure, you have a safe actions of the people. Okay? The procedure is the basis of our safe actions. If you will not follow the procedure, your actions also will be unsafe. And you do a lot of shortcut methods. So problem for your progress, okay, and accident will be happening. You get the point?
Yes.
Things like that. So avoid shortcut method. This is very important. So this is our third page. Then we go to the attachment, the hot work risk assessment. Okay? Things like that. Read it carefully, self-explanatory, meaning by the time you read, you can understand and just like fill out or filling the information just like going to the bank, okay, application form, things like that. Okay? Then read the English language carefully, and then that's it. Okay? Things like that. If you have experience in construction project, you you are experiencing work already in your past, or just now working? First timer?
No, first timer.
First timer?
No.
First timer?
Experience.
If you are having the experience before, whether manufacturing, power plant, or construction, then you understand this. Okay? You get the point. This is the hot work, exclusive for hot work. Okay, assessment. Then we have also the risk assessment in your specific scope of works. For example, PMS activities, welding hot works activities. Then you need to have this risk assessment. Okay, but this will be done by your supervisor and foreman. But there are times also that you will be the one to work without any supervisor and foreman. That's why you need to know also the information. You need to write this risk assessment. Okay, like that. Okay, and somebody will guide you there. Your supervisor, your foreman, or colleagues that know how our system, our procedure. You got the point. So without risk assessment, okay, your permit will not be approved and it will not be registered in our database. Okay, you got the point. So that's about permit to work and the PPE. And now we go to the incident and accident reporting. Okay, incident. If there's an incident and accidents, what you will do? Okay, what's your name?
Mandal, sir.
Mandar
Gervasius.
Mandar.
Mandal.
Okay. Wait. Gervasius Mandar. So, Gervasius Mandal, you are electrical, right?
AC technician.
AC technician. Okay. So, what will you do if there's an incident, an accident?
I will inform if I see there's an accident, or I'm the one.
If you will see the incident and accident, what you will do? You see by yourself.
Report to you. Report sa may superior sa.
Okay? So the first thing to do, you are correct, you must report that immediately. Okay, within 24 hours. You don't have to delay the reporting. Okay, that's the first step. Okay, and you need to remember the important information. The what, the where, the why, the how, like that. The what will be, you need to say the specific location. Okay, the time, when. Okay, the date and the time exactly. Okay, and then how it is happening. If he hit in a car, like that. If the tool slipped from the hands, that's why they have the finger injury. That's how actions, okay, things like that. And why, things like that, because reasons why it happened. Why not necessarily you have to do that, but sometimes you see before it happened, right? But if you don't see, do not answer the why, only the what, the where, the when. Okay, things like that. And your supervisor and foreman will be the one to report that immediately to the safety department, and the safety personnel and the safety officer will do the initial investigation. Okay, and we need to barricade the area if there are a lot of people injured, and if our vehicles also are being damaged, vehicular accidents, we need to put the barricade while the investigation is going on. Nobody can touch the barricade and everything. Okay, and then if the incidents and accidents are major, we need to extend our investigation, second day, third day, and final investigation as well. Okay, and then after that, we will make the final report. Okay, we will investigate the people involved in the work and also the injured person. Okay, the incident owner. You get the point? The performing party. That's it. And then after the final report, we have the important root cause analysis so that it will not be happen again the same time, and we can correct that the same mistakes, it will never be happening, or we can prevent any related incidents, accidents that are not yet happening. Okay, that's gonna be our preventive, okay, actions. Okay, we have our corrective actions because we correct it not to repeat again based on our root cause analysis. And then for the other related incidents and accidents that will be happening, we have our preventive actions. You get the point?
Yes, sir.
But both have root cause analysis. You get the point? Things like that. And also the basic causes why it happened. Okay, direct causes like that, blah, 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 so and so. Okay, you get the point?
Yes, sir.
So report it 24 hours, within 24 hours. Do not delay, okay? Things like that. And then our number will be 1900 for the safety department. Okay?
1900.
For emergency contact. 1900 for, no, this is for our Avaya. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Avaya for our fire section. Fire section and safety is just similar here. 1. Okay? If you call the HSC, also the same thing. Those are having the environment, the safety officer, and the firefighters. Okay? Call 1900, any types of accident like that. Okay? But if there is an injury, call directly the NARS. Okay? Because, you know, if you call first the safety, then it will become big. Your wound, your laceration, your bone fractures, you will suffer already a lot, right? So to save time, because the nurse, health professionals will do it properly for the first aid. Okay, and they will decide if you will be sent to the doctor or not. Okay, so call them first. But if there's no injury, only property damage, vehicles damage, fire, facilities damage, no people involved, injury, okay, then safety first, calling. But the same thing, you have to call safety, okay, like that. But it's not related to injuries, don't call the nurse. Okay, but if you need medicine by your own, though it's not an incident, an accident, then you have to go to the clinic. Okay, there. Okay, things like, we'll give you something there. You need to measure your blood pressure, your weight, things like that. Okay, in our company clinic. So that is for the incident and accident reporting. And now we go to the emergency reporting. There's a difference between the two because emergency is more critical, more, the impact is very high, serious. Okay? Things like, for example, flooding, earthquake, bomb threat, explosion, major fire accident, the collapse of the buildings due to earthquake, or let's say tsunami, or let's say big hurricane, things like that, or very heavy sandstorms or heavy rains in which the people cannot work too much degree. Okay, things like that, or quick explosion, chemical explosion, or chemical hazardous release in the plant. Too much smell, we cannot work. Okay, nobody can work. So these are emergency. Get the point? Typhoon. Okay, too much wind, also
So,
an emergency.
Here is our
Okay.
evacuation center, sir.
Huh?
Evacuation when?
Okay,
Yeah.
so every building have our evacuation plan. So just look at it and follow the direction where to go. Okay? Now every building has its own exit. Take a look at your back. Exit lighted, illuminated exit. Go to the exit roads. Okay, but before going to that road exit, then you have to stop your job. Okay? Carefully switch off the machine. Okay? Off the machine, remove the plugs. Okay, and bring only your belongings, paper or notebook or ballpen. You are not allowed to bring the company properties. Okay, at that time. And go to the exit road and go to the assembly point. Okay, assembly point, there will be a head count like that. And by the time there will be an incident commander, like say, for example, the head of the plant director, and the ERT team, things like that. Okay, emergency response team. Okay, he will say, we will continue or not. Announcement. Okay, having a megaphone. Just relax like that, blah, 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 so and so. But the head count already done by each department. Okay, things like that. So the incident commander will say, uh, continue working, go back because it has been cleared. And said also stop because it's going worst. Things like there are two only, worst or clear. Worst, all of us will be going back to our camp because we cannot control everything. For example, all the buildings are damaged. How can we work? Things like okay, because there's a big fire and there's also drone, things like that is happening in the Aramco. Okay, there's too much destruction on their plant. You get the point? So again, we will stay there while they correct that one. Okay. Now it's still very, very worse. They will say, go to the Mozambique, the nearest city, for the rehabilitation of the people. For example only, right? Okay, and then the last step will be, if very worst, we will be sent back to our country of origin. For example, things like that. If already having the cannot be solved really, too much catastrophic, means so many fatality like that, blah blah blah, so and so. Okay, you get the point. Or like a war, for example. Okay, so you'll be sent back to war is an emergency. You cannot predict that to happen. Emergency are activities and events that you cannot predict to happen. Okay, things like that because it's not related to your work. It's just an emergency. More of them are due to the nature, to the environment, right? There's also man-made, but very less. More are calamities on the environment that we cannot control. Okay? Things like that. So that's gonna be the procedure of emergency reporting. And then you will use also the 100 because the same thing, the safety also will be there, the medics, the medical representative, the nurse, like that, the management will be there. Now, if you cannot control, we will ask help from the emergency responders in the Mia City. For example, if there's somebody die there, things like that, and we cannot retrieve because we are not certified rescuers and responders. We are not allowed to touch anything. The safety, and you also are not allowed to touch anything. Okay? Especially if there's blood coming. So they will frame you and then you will put you into the jail. You get the point? So you will never touch anything. Just report by using the mouth or by paper or the camera. Okay, don't touch anything. This is a very important reminder. Don't touch anything if there's an injury. Okay, or somebody's dying. You get the point? Let the health representatives will do that. The nurse, the doctor, like that, or the responders from the Mozambique. You get the point? Even as we're not allowed to do that. Okay, but for the first aid only, that there's no blood coming out. Okay, so we can, if we are trained for first aiders, first aid. If you don't also train for that, then don't do that. Okay? But the best thing, you don't do that because it's not good. Maybe there's no blood at first, and then later the blood will come out. So you will be again framed up, and then you put into the jail, and then go back to your country of origin. Okay, because they are very very alert of the presence of the blood, even though how small is that. Okay, in their religion, things like that. You get the point? Okay, that's gonna be emergency reporting. Okay. Any questions so far? Nothing. Now, for the safety and rules and regulations, we have so many rules. So rule 1, rule 2, and rule thousands, things like that. And then the specific rules will be discussed in the specific trainings later on. We will schedule the training every 1 month. There's training for maintenance, another month for the production, another month for the auto workshop, as per schedule in our training plan. Okay, based on our training metrics. You get the point? Things like that. So you should attend,
Yes.
the training, the toolbox talks, blah blah blah, like that. Okay? So any questions? So we need to have safety information all the time so that we can work safely and properly to avoid incidents and accidents. You get the point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, very important thing is we need to maintain cleanliness and tidiness of our plant. Meaning to say, good housekeeping, good materials management, clearing of unwanted substances and flammable and combustible materials. Okay. This can cause fire accident. Aside from that, it can cause also to slip, trip, and fall, or any other hazards, electrocution, like that, if you don't arrange the cable properly. Okay? You get the point? So, anyhow, this has been reflected here in your permit. Okay, but don't wait for the paper. If you see unsafe, you have to correct immediately. You have to intervene on the spot. What is really unsafe, then correct it immediately. You get the point? Because actually, it's the words can save us. It's not the paper. You get the point? Here, for example, I will mention here, adequate mechanical ventilation. Okay, it's the point that can save us. It's not the paper and the words reflected here. Okay, you get the point? So it's the point. It's the sense of the thought of the words that we learned can save us. It's not the piece of the paper. The purpose only of the piece of the paper or a document is for the investigation and to keep track, what's happening really by tracing the date, the time, the activities, like that. Okay, but to help us save other people is through actions. Get the point? This is just only for for legality issues, as we need to comply with the requirements by the government, things like that, or the authorities or our management, because they have to submit documentation. But if you see something wrong, if you have the eyes, you can correct immediately without waiting for the paper. You get the point? Okay, because the same thing, what you see by your eyes, it's already in the paper. You get the point? So things like that. For example, if you see somebody don't wear the harness, things like that. Okay, you will say immediately, please wear your harness. Things like before calling, ask assistance by the safety, because it's very easy to say or to remind. Rather than calling safety, it will take you 5 minutes, 10 minutes by just only wearing the harness. How about telling the guy to be safe? Things like that. Okay, this is our role, because safety is everybody's responsibility. We need to coordinate, we need to cooperate. Okay, you get the point? We are teaching you not to be selfish in the work sites, because safety is our commitment, is for everybody. If we see something wrong, then we need to talk. Okay, you get the point? It's safety reminder, safety communication, blah blah blah, so and so, and safety discussion. Then after that, we need to act. That's why actions is louder than words. You get the point? Okay, we can be measured by our actions, not by our words. Okay, even though how silent you are, if you have output or results very well, then you will be acknowledged by the management. Okay, things like that. But if you're good in words but you don't have results and outputs, then problem. You have no evidence and proofs of your performance. How effective is your performance really is with regards to your progress, with regards to the safety, with regards to the quality. You got the point? So safety and quality and progress will go together. You cannot eliminate one over the other. You get the point? It should be going together. Okay? So you need to change your mentality. You need to include the safety commitment and the quality commitment. Because more or less the quality, if no quality, then again the safety will come in. Then causes incidents and accidents. Get the point? Things like that. Okay. For example, if you're a welder, just like what happened yesterday in the management walkthrough, the CEO came here yesterday, and then there's a pipeline, overhead pipeline, the line three, things like that, like a fuel line, and then they have to extend further the overhead line. Then they try to weld an additional something like that. Okay, they made it very strong and tight, but the alignment is very dirty to look. You got the point, like this. So meaning to say, they are just only having the idea, we want to finish this, kalas. They don't have an idea, we need to finish this and make it good, so that the people will look at it, will say, that's a beautiful, that's a good performance, like that. It will affect our image and impression because that is public road. I mean, anybody can pass there, our visitors or anything that will do the audit, blah, blah, blah. And then, what's this? This is an industrial plant or not? Things like that. Okay.
Only installation. No,
They installed very tight, very good, but the alignment is like a bending.
Not good.
Like that. Okay? And then, secondly, they don't paint.
Yes,
And then
yes.
the color of the other parts are yellow and black. And then what's that? It's very dry from the eye. So what about the visual impact? Okay? So this is the concern of the management. They will never try to say that you are very tired in doing that. They will never listen explanation for that.
That is the
Okay? That's yesterday for our management walkthrough. And it's so silly to discuss more on that because when you work, you should establish quality by common sense. Even though your supervisor and your foreman will never say that to you. You get the point? Agree or not? Because it's your performance, it's your image and credibility or reputation after that. You get the point?
Yes, yes.
Things like that. Okay? So that's a great example. Okay? It's not just I need to finish like that, no? Okay? And avoid direct method or shortcut method. So it can cause accident. For example, if the road is there and you will try to escape, you make shortcut, then you will be hit by we have so many trucks there. Be careful, huh? Okay? The concrete mixer.
Where the
Okay.
Pedestrian.
We don't have pedestrian here, but you need.
Kasi
We don't have pedestrian here because this is not a public place. Actually, it's okay. Your suggestion, all you have to do is to go on the sides, not on the. If this is the road, take a space away from the main road. Okay. When you walk, establish 1 meters away, just like social distancing on the COVID. Okay, things like
Stop,
that.
look, and
Things-
listen.
Okay, stop, look, and listen. Things.
how about our road there inside? Do we have one way?
We have one way. We have signage there. You can check it out, but only less, not so many. Okay, you have the speed signboard. Okay, slow down, things like that. The minimum speed limit. Okay, humps ahead. But our humps ahead is only the drawing, not the words. Okay, and our speed limit also are the by symbols in Arabic sometimes, but sometimes also a number. Okay, you got the point. 25 kilometer per hour inside the plant sites.
Maximum speed.
No, there's no maximum speed in the plant sites.
20 only.
Okay? Only as much as possible you will take slow. Okay? Generally. Okay? Because if you will keep on remembering the number, sometimes you cannot calculate that exactly in your driving. So what is you try to remember is the general safety that you need to take slow. Okay? So that you can avoid overspeeding and there will be no collision of other motorists or other vehicles. You get the point? So follow traffic safety, okay, signboards. Okay, because we don't have a separate traffic safety department. Okay, we don't have traffic safety manager, unlike other companies have separate security manager. But here, no. Okay, this is the first time I worked in my 24 years career in safety that there's no security manager. Okay, so there's a lot of lapses and missing. Since we don't really choose, because we are already here, all we have to do is to, is to observe the flaw and to make ourselves safety first, so that we will not be blamed after all. They will not pinpoint their finger on us. Things like that. You get the point?
Yes, sir.
And the only way to save us is ourselves. Ourselves. You get the point? Nobody. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Do not entrust yourself to anybody else. Okay, you entrust your safety to me. I'm just reminding to be safe. We are just ensuring to be safe because that's our job. But at the end of the day, it's yourself who will decide if you will work on the straight way or the other way, in the safe way or the unsafe way. Now, the result of that is hidden. You know, hidden? Hidden. For now, it cannot be seen. It cannot be forecasted. But it will come later if you keep on doing that continuously, because you think now nothing happens. Maybe after 1 year it will be happening. Though it's long, but it will be happening, but we just don't know. You get the point? Because we cannot predict incident and accident. You get the point? So the best way is to follow the basic safety rules and safety requirements. So in that way, if this happening, you will say, this is really what the Lord gave to me. Because you did already your best to be safe, then again, it's still happening. Right? So that's the Lord decision on you. You get the point? Because He planned everything for us. But if you try to follow safety and you are very confident that you are far from incident and accident, you are far from injuries. Imagine if you lost your fingers, if you lost your leg, things like that. We have also injury there in the camp during the cricket. Okay, and then bone fracture, Mr. Bilal, and we have now the wheelchair. No, not wheelchair, the stretcher. See? Because safety is everywhere. In the Riyadh, in Muzamia, in your home. It's not limited only in the plant. Okay? This is how important safety, the same as hospital or the health or the doctor. We have the same alignment of our scope. We need to protect and save the patient, the people. We are aligned. Teachers, safety, and health professionals are the same objective for the people. Okay? We for the safety, and they are for the health, so that the patients will not die, right? Same also to us, so that they will not also die. Okay, and the teachers also teaching the students in order for them to be knowledgeable. Okay? And then in order for them to be safe also with the knowledge. Okay? Because it's being taught in the education, things like that. So that's why they are the noblest task in the world. Okay? Teacher, you got a point in the question so far? Nothing?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you have question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have question?
Okay.
If there are any complex, methods or any questions how to do your tasks, ask guidance with your supervisors. Okay, do not work directly without their instructions for the first time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because maybe the equipment and facilities may be new to you, not the same with your previous companies. Okay, even though how experienced you are, it will, you have to adjust and adapt. Okay, the kind and the type of the facilities, equipment, machineries, and also the area. Okay, may not be the same. By theoretical, may the same generally, but in the actual may be another.
Yes.
But the same principle, the same concept. Okay, you get the point.
Yes, sir.
Okay, observe first how they do it, things like that. Of course, for the first time you don't allow to hands-on if you are not familiar, right? Things like that. Okay, get the point.
Yes, sir.
Any question? Where are you from?
Workshop. Philippines.
Where are you from? The question is where are you from? You need to answer the specific place, country. In Cebu.
Bulacan. Narsagaray, Bulacan.
Okay. You, where you from?
Cebuano ko sa Cebu mo
Ikaw.
sa ita. Cagayan de Oro.
Again, okay, so we are just doing this for the purpose of uniformity, English language, our international language, okay? Because I'm not also good in Tagalog.
Yes.
I can speak well in English rather than in Tagalog.
Cebuano ko dito.
Okay?
Cebuano.
Yes.
Ah.
And then Cebuano also sometimes there's deep terms, then masapid, my tongue also will be twirled. So it's safe for me to speak in English. Okay? Any questions?
No, sir.
Nothing. So I will take your pictures. I will submit to the manager. Okay? Wait. Please stand.